Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sonia and I'd love it if you could subscribe. And if you're not already an existing subscriber, welcome back. So for today's video, I'm going to be filming my finale to the Throwback 30 project. Now I'm aware I have not filmed any updates to this for a few months now. So it might seem a little bit bizarre that I'm now just filming a finale even though I've not filmed any updates, but it does actually end this month, this project. So I wanted to at least get the finale up. So this is a Pantastic Ladies Collab Facebook group project and it was created by Jessica. And this project is a combination of 30 different past and present Pantastic Ladies Collab Facebook group projects. So other people have created projects within this project. Below I have linked everyone that are the creators for each of the projects in this project. And this project goes from the 28th of July 2024 to the 28th of July 2025. I cannot believe we're already in July. It feels like this year has completely flown by since starting this project. I will say I am not going to be doing this project again this year. Never say never for the future, but with the way that my life is currently, I need to really strip it down, and I'm going to be introducing some projects next month, which I'll explain next month. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing this project again next year, but like I said, never say never for the future because I do really enjoy this project. So if I've missed anything, I'll make sure to leave it below, but without further ado, let's get into the finale. So I do have quite a few rollouts, which I did expect because obviously I've not filmed this for a long time. But the first one is 50 Shades of Pink. And I brought in the Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Face Cream. And my goal was to finish this. And as you can see, I have finished it. It's completely done. I'm not usually a big fan of rose scented things, and this is quite strongly scented of rose. But I did think this was nice. I don't think it would be something I would go out and get again. I have other moisturisers that I do prefer that aren't so heavily scented of rose, but yep, this was okay. I did use it a total of 16 times to finish it. The next project is Budget Beauty, and I chose a powder from Lottie London. Now you can't actually see it's from Lottie London because it is completely wiped off on the packaging, but this is a powder I do use nearly every day when I do my makeup. I don't do my makeup every day, but every time I do my makeup. Sometimes I do skip this step if I'm in a bit of a rush and I just use my other powder because I do use two powders. This one I use for like my under eyes and things because I do find it does make them look a lot smoother. And my goal was to finish this. I used it a total of 51 times. Now, I do think I've used it a few more times than that, but I've just forgot to mark it. Hopefully going forward, I'm going to be a lot better at doing that again now that hopefully life is starting to get a little bit back to normal. But yes, I did mark where I was previously, and you can see now that I am now here. So I definitely do have a new line on this. But I wasn't able to finish it in this project, but I'll just continue to keep using it. It is a nice powder for like the under eyes. I'm still not the biggest fan of loose setting powder. I still think I prefer pressed, and my favourite one is from Charlotte Tilbury, but I have this in my collection, so I'll keep using it. The next project is Child of the 80s, and I chose the prompt I'm So Sure, and that is a ridiculous product, so that could be packaging, performance, claims. So I brought in the Murad AHA BHA exfoliating cleanser, but I use this as an exfoliator, and I brought it in because it's such big packaging. It took up a huge space in my drawer. So my goal was to finish this as well. I've used it a total of 16 times, and again I may have used it a few more times than that but just forgot to mark it. But I wasn't able to finish it, but I am now down to here. So I don't feel like I've got much more to go. I didn't use this a huge amount really over the last few months, so that's why it's a big jump but not a huge jump. I feel like if I'd have used it every time when I was meant to, I most probably would have been able to have this finished, but it's fine. I'll just keep this in my shower and keep using it until it is done. There are a few projects that I just didn't even start the products, so one of them being Disney Princesses, and I chose the prompt Aurora, which is bubblegum pink / grey, and I brought in a Juvia's Place lip gloss. I didn't even touch it, so I wanted to use it 25 times and I didn't even touch it once. Next one is Happy Hour, and I chose a prompt daiquiri, which I do love a good strawberry daiquiri. I do also love a cosmopolitan. And that was a fruit themed item, and I brought in the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask in Berry. Again, I didn't start that and I wanted to finish it. I just didn't start it because I haven't finished the other lip balms and stuff I was using, and there's no point me opening a new one, so I just didn't start that one. Okay, the next project is I Heart the 90s, and I chose the prompt Jurassic Park, which is your oldest product. So I brought in my NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, and my goal for this originally was to finish it, but then I did change it to 50 uses, and I did manage to get my 50 use on this. So this is another rollout, so that's my second rollout, and as you can see, I'm so close to having this done. So I do think in the next few months this will be an empty, which will make me very happy, because at least I would have finished one foundation this year. Last year I didn't finish one, so I am actively trying to just focus on this one to get it finished. It's a nice foundation, but not my favourite, but I will definitely get that done. I forgot one product, but it's fine. The next project is It's Panning Cats and Dogs, and I chose a prompt Beagle, which is a scent hound, and it was the scented item. So I brought in the Ted Baker body spray. I haven't been able to finish it. I'm about halfway through it, but I did use it 51 times in this project. I do really need to start working on my body sprays. It is at my work desk, but I just don't spray it as often as I need to, because I don't feel like I really need to freshen up throughout the day at the moment. But I am using it. It's about halfway through. The next project is Nightmare on Panning Street, and I chose a prompt Halloween, and that is a set of sheet masks or a full/deluxe size mask. So I did end up bringing in the Peter Thomas Roth Rose Stem Cell Anti-Aging Mask, and I used this 4 times, and my goal was to finish it, and I have. I mean, it's not a very big tube, but I have managed to finish this now. This was okay. Not something I feel like I'd need to go out and get again, but I did finish it. So that is my third rollout. The next project is same pan last year, and I chose the prompt April Fool's Day, which is the 1st of April, and that is an item you feel like a fool for buying. So I brought in my Dolce & Gabbana face duo. This is a nice product, but I spent a lot of money on this, a lot, and I just don't feel like it's an amazing product for the price I paid. Don't get me wrong, like I said, it's a nice product, it's just not, it don't wow me. The packaging wows me, looks absolutely beautiful, and this is what it looks like inside. So I did primarily use the blush, but I did also use the highlight at times as well, and my goal for this was to use it 24 times, and I did. So I'm glad I'm getting my uses on it, because like I said, it was expensive. And I do just want to keep bringing it into projects here and there to get my uses, and I can definitely start to see a dip on this blush here. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I did manage to get my 24 uses, so that is my 4th rollout, and this will stay in my collection. And like I said, I'm just going to keep bringing it into projects here and there to get some uses on it. I did also keep it in the original pouch it came in. The next project, I also don't have the product for this. I think I did feature it in an empties, so spoiler, this is another rollout, and I think I must have just thrown it away because I don't have it anywhere. But the next project is Skin is In, and I brought in the Goose Creek body lotion. I did finish that body lotion. I used it a total, well, I've got down here 32 times, but I think I might have used it a few more times than that. But I did completely finish it. It's not a body lotion I would get again, but it is one that I've had in multiple projects to try and get done. So I'm so glad it is finally finished. So that is my 5th rollout. The next project is That's Expensive, and I brought in the Ceylan's Resurfacing Essence. This is quite expensive for a toner, and my goal was to finish it. As you can see, I have finished it, and I used it, I've got written down here as well, a total of 23 times. Again, I think I may have used this a few more times than that, but this is now completely done. This was okay, I enjoyed it. I do have other toners that are cheaper than this that I do prefer, so yeah. But if I was to get it again, I would use it, but I'd still really enjoy the Pixie one. Next project is That's So 2000, and I chose the prompt Frosted Tips, which is something frosty or icy, and I brought in the Glam Light Frosted Flakes palette for 5 uses, and I didn't use it once. Again, I think that was another palette which I find really difficult to use every day, and I haven't been wearing eyeshadow really at all. I think I've only used eyeshadow once this year, which is crazy considering I've got a drawer full of eyeshadow palettes. I need to start working through some of them, but yeah, I didn't even use that one once. The next project is the Golden Girls Project Pan, and I chose the prompt Dorothy, and that is a good lipstick slash blush. So I brought in my Fenty Cream Blush in Petal Poppin'. And my goal for this was to use it 24 times. Sorry, this is really disgusting. I should have wiped this before, but I'm keeping it real here. So my goal was to use it 24 times, and I have used it 24 times. I still really love this blush formula. This is, I think, one of my favourite cream blush formulas, even to this day. This was the first one I ever tried, and I still really, really love it. I've got another one of these as well. I can't remember what shade it is, but it's like the more peachy one. But yeah, really did enjoy this, and I managed to get my 24 uses, so that's my 7th rollout. The next project is This Is Pantasy, and I chose the prompt Vampire, and that is a blood red product. And I did bring in another red lipstick, but then I rolled it out and I brought this one in from Kiko. This is a Holiday Fable, and it's in 05. And my goal was to use it 10 times. I did only use it 3, but this is a really nice red lipstick. I just didn't really have any occasions to wear red lipstick, so I didn't manage to reach my 10 uses, only 3, but yeah, I figured out I do actually really like this product. The next project is Turn and Burn, and I have now finished all of my samples that I brought in for this, and these were the last ones I needed to use. They were all from Charlotte Tilbury. So the first one is the Magic Hydration Revival Cleanser. And I did finish this one. That's what it looks like. I'm not the biggest fan of Charlotte Tilbury skincare, so I won't get any of these. And I really enjoy her makeup, but this skincare I'm just not the biggest fan of. And it's extremely expensive. The next one is the Charlotte's Magic Cream. And again, I finished this one. And then I had the Magic Water Cream. I think if anything, if I had to choose something, I think it would be this one, because it did feel a little bit more like water was going on my skin, and that's what I really enjoy when in a moisturiser. But yeah, I also finished this one as well. So that was all of my Turn and Burn. So that was my 8th rollout and my last rollout. So I've been able to roll 8 things out, which I'm really pleased with. And then last but no means least, we have Zodiac Panna. And I chose a prompt Libra, which was a pink, pale green and various shades of blue. I brought in the Star Skin Celery Juice Serum in Oil. I actually think this is expired. So I am going to stop using this now. I did use it a total of 59 uses. And when I was using it, I could really tell the difference. Like the oil and the product itself was separating. I am just going to call this done. There really isn't a huge amount left in it, but I really don't want to be putting anything on my skin that has expired, especially recently, because I have been getting a lot of like breakouts and stuff. So I'm just going to call this one done, but I didn't technically completely finish it, so I'm not going to call it a rollout or anything, but this is going to go into my empties as one that I have pretty much, because it's like here, really it's not a huge amount left. Not one I would get again. But that is it. That is my finale for the Throwback 30 project. I do really enjoy this project, and I'm looking forward to watching everyone's intros on this. And maybe next year I might start it again once things are a little bit quieter, but I have a feeling this year is going to be an extremely busy year even going forward, so I'm going to try and be nicer on myself, limit the amount of projects I'm doing for now. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and it means the absolute world to me if you could subscribe if you don't already. And until my next video, thank you for coming by. See you later.